Let's do another Bible talk. The question is, which version? And the answer is not that simple. But let's give it a try. I did not have to ask this question for a long while. You see, where I grew up, when I started reading the Bible and studying it, there was just one Bible. Simple, just one. And it was the Orthodox Bible. Actually, there were two. The common one available to everybody, and the old translation in Old Bulgarian, in Church Slavonic, which was nowhere to be found. It was available only to the clergy and the priests. We'll come back to that. So when I arrived in England, I bought a Bible. I think it was King James's. And I noticed straight away that some of the books were missing. I did not start parallel reading straight away, so I did not notice the other differences in the text. But I was already suspicious of Planet Bullshit. Years later, I remember I was staying at a hotel and I found a Bible in the bedside cabinet, up a drawer. Back in those days, you could find Bibles in the hotel rooms. But what Bible it was! I opened the first page and read a little bit of Genesis. Horrible. The text was completely corrupted. I have no idea what translation it was. Crap. Cheers. I've seen many different versions since then. And they all differ from each other. Even the King James's version sometimes differ from each other. I have about 20-something Bibles in English, in Bulgarian, in Russian, and in Church Slavonic. I also have bilingual copies in Greek and English, and two different versions of the Jewish Tanakh. The more I study and compare them, the more obvious it becomes that planet bullshit has its stamp everywhere. I'll just give you a few simple statistics. In the Tanakh, you have 24 books. That's our Old Testament. In pretty much all the English editions I've seen, there are 39 books in the Old Testament and 27 in the New Testament. The number of books in the New Testament is the same in English, Russian, Greek, Bulgarian, 27. But the Old Testament, in comparison, in the Orthodox Bible, we have 50 books. 50 as opposed to 39. I would say it's always better to have more than less. When it comes to the actual texts, the differences are even bigger. As far as English goes, I think King James's version is the best. But it differs so much from what I grew up with. And even more, it differs from the original Greek text and the Old Slavonic version, which is pretty much identical to the Greek text, plus some extra books which we don't have there. I'll do a separate video on the text differences. I'll just do a comparison. You be the judge. So, which version? You read what you have to start with, and read as many versions as you can get your hands on. I prefer the older translations. The older, the better. That's why I like the King Jameses. People say, yeah, but it's more difficult to understand old language. You gotta try and try again. You see, Satan has his own ways. Clever ways. Instead of simply changing the text of the Bible, what he did was mutilate the languages we use, constantly evolving them, and through this bringing new and newer translations. With every translation, something was lost in the meaning of the words. That's why you gotta stick to the older texts and learn the older language. That's what I think. (1792). Yes, read as many versions as you can. Don't be afraid to compare them. They're all corrupted, that's for sure. All of them. To different degree. Sometimes the text reveals itself. It just sounds better. You will see what I mean in my future videos.